Hello again folks, I'm sitting out here by the Blue Water camper. I'm about to ring my cousin Giovanni in Italy to get a nice authentic Italian recipe to cook for you today. Hello? Hello? Hey Giovanni. Ciao bello, come stai? Yes. Just wondering, can you send me a recipe for a one pot lasagna please?
Certo, adesso?
Yeah, I've just got a stove burner.
Sì, certo, la mia lasagna è buonissima.
Okay, text it to me. Cheers.
Questi australiani.
This is JD and welcome to another episode of Go RV's Camping Cuisine, brought to us by our friends at Thetford. I've just been on the phone to my cousin Giovanni to get a special recipe of a one pan lasagna, easy to cook. Let me run you through the ingredients. Here I've got 500 grams of pork and beef mince, the mozzarella cheddar pecorino, but you can use any Italian blend. We've got some ricotta cheese, which will replace the white sauce. We've got some lasagna sheets, some stock, tomato paste, some passata. We've got minced garlic, salt, and extra virgin olive oil, some Italian herbs, and an onion. Let's start by chopping up one onion. You can use red or brown. I like using red onion because you don't have to cook it as long. It's got a slightly mild flavour. We'll roughly chop it, doesn't have to be too precise. Let's fire up the Thetford. Let's get some oil on that pan. That oil is nice and hot now. Let's add our onion, Italian herbs, the garlic, and of course, a bit of seasoning. You can see the garlic starting to roast and those onions are starting to cook. Now we add our mince. Now we're going to let that brown. As you can see, the meat has started to brown a little bit. Of course, because there's a bit of pork in there, it won't be as intense as using just beef. So now we're going to add a big tablespoon or a couple of teaspoons of tomato paste. That's going to give it a nice rich tomatoey flavour. And we'll stir that in, make sure that it's nice and even. And we're going to add a jar of passata and we're going to pour it all in. Beautiful. Now, because we are going to add our lasagna sheets to the pan. Yes, to the pan. It's not going in the oven. We'll either add a cup of water or stock. I like to use stock because you pack the flavors in. So you're going to get a bit of a runny sauce, but that's going to soak up when we add the lasagna sheets. Of course, if you need more liquid, we add more water. So we need to bring this to the boil. I'm going to put a lid on so that it will boil faster. The recipe says 1 cup of cheese. Of course, it's up to you how much cheese you've got or how much you use. I'm going to put half a cup in now and sprinkle that in, about half a cup. And the rest I'm going to use to top my one pan lasagna. Next, we're going to use some lasagna sheets. You can get curly ones, you can get all types. I'm using this one, which is al uovo, which is an egg pasta, which is just a little bit richer and really tasty. We need about 6 sheets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to just roughly cut them up and place them in our sauce. I'm probably making a bit of a mess, but you get the idea. In fact, these are small sheets. I'm going to add 2 more, so I'll make sure that I put 8 on the recipe, but you've seen the size and they're going in there. Now, once I've made sure that they've all been stirred in and they're not sticking to each other, I'm going to put the lid on for a few more minutes and then I'm going to give it one last stir. So we've let it simmer for a couple of minutes. We're going to open up our pan. As you can see, that's still simmering away, but we're going to give it one last stir. Make sure that those pasta sheets aren't sticking. As you can see, they look a bit like nachos. Just make sure that we have a look through and separate them. We don't want lumpy lasagna sheets. Giovanni doesn't know I'm doing like this. He thinks I'm just doing a proper lasagna on an oven. He may be surprised when he sees that I've done it all in one big pan. As you can see, those sheets are now in pieces and they're spread right through. So now it's time to let them cook just like they would in the oven. We're going to turn it down to medium low, and we're going to put a lid back on and we're going to leave that for about 10 minutes. Okay, here comes our lasagna layers. We're going to use cottage cheese and we're going to dollop that in a few spots, just like you'd be putting white sauce on your lasagna. Look at that, beautiful. You probably need a small tub. I think that's about right. On top of that, I'm going to sprinkle the other half of my cup of cheese on the top. Look at that, beautiful. We're going to sprinkle some more of those herbs on top. I'm going to put my lid on. It's going to be 2 more minutes for the cheese to melt and then we're ready to go. I hope I make Giovanni proud.
Mamma mia, che buona la pasta!
You can use anything you like, but I'm going to put some fresh basil. Doesn't that look fantastic? Hey folks, it's been a fantastic couple of days here at Patterson River. This is my last night here and I'm just finishing off with my one pan lasagna. Look at that. I think Giovanni, Maria, Luigi would be proud back in Italy of this beautiful one pot lasagna. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Join me next time for another episode of Go Avi's Camping Cuisine, thanks to our friends at Thetford. Now let's taste this lasagna. Magnifico! See you next time.